6 signs you're holding on to someone God told you to release. You can feel it in your heart, but you keep trying to ignore it. You pray for clarity, but the truth is already clear. God has been showing you that it's time to let go. Holding on to someone God told you to release can drain your peace and blur your purpose. These signs are not meant to make you feel guilty, but to help you walk in obedience and healing. God doesn't remove someone from your life without a reason, and when He asks you to release someone, it's for your protection, growth, and future. You keep replaying memories even when the reality wasn't healthy. You may remember the good times and push away the pain, but God doesn't want you stuck in the past. When your focus stays on what was, instead of what God wants to do next, that's a sign you're holding on to something He already told you to release. Philippians 3:13 says, "Forgetting those things which are behind and reaching forward to those things which are ahead." God's plan will always move you forward, not backward. Your prayers have turned into requests for God to change them instead of changing you. If you constantly ask God to fix the other person while avoiding what He's telling you about the relationship, that's a warning sign. God speaks in quiet ways and sometimes removes peace instead of giving a loud answer. When you ignore His lack of peace and keep praying for something He's already said no to, your prayers can start to feel heavy and unanswered. Proverbs 28:9 says, "One who turns away his ear from hearing the law, even his prayer is an abomination." It's hard to accept, but ignoring God's instruction closes the door to His best. You feel mentally and spiritually drained every time you connect with them. Peace should come with presence, not confusion and chaos. When every conversation leaves you questioning your worth or your direction, that's not God's will for your heart. God never blesses a relationship that continually breaks your spirit. 1 Corinthians 14:33 says, "For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace." If peace is missing, you already have your answer. You are afraid that letting go means being alone forever. Fear will lie to you and tell you that this person is the only one for you. But fear is not from God, and He never uses fear to keep you in a place He's already told you to leave. 2 Timothy 1:7 says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Letting go doesn't mean losing. It means making space for what God truly has for you. You ignore red flags and excuse their actions just to keep the connection alive. You tell yourself they will change or things will get better, even when nothing is improving. When you have to constantly lower your standards to keep someone, you've already lost yourself. God will never ask you to shrink who you are just to be with someone. Amos 3:3 says, "Can two walk together unless they are agreed?" When there's no alignment, there's no agreement, and that means no true peace. You have no peace in your spirit about staying, but you keep holding on anyway. That inner conflict, that constant unsettled feeling, is not random. It's God speaking through your discomfort, urging you to release what you're clinging to. The longer you hold on, the longer you delay your healing. Isaiah 26:3 says, "You will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on you, because he trusts in you." Trusting God means believing that letting go leads to peace, not pain.